Hello. Hopefully my mic is working and it's all good. How's it going, guys? It's been a minute. It's been a month actually. Um yeah, it's been a little while. Happy Halloween to everyone who's tuning in. It's yeah. For those of you I guess who don't really have Halloween plans, welcome in. Including myself, I don't really have any Halloween plans. I guess my plans is like streaming this. I had a perfect Halloween decoration though. It's my black cat who was over there on that little tree next to the window. But then right before I started streaming, he ran away. So what can you do? Hopefully, you guys, you've all had an awesome October as we were wrapping October up. Yeah, welcome in everyone. Got Sebren Production. Welcome in, welcome in. We got Watch. Oh, sorry if I butcher your names, guys. If there's a proper way to pronounce it and I'm saying it wrong, please let me know. I'm horrible with names and pronunciations. Watch Transmissions, welcome in. What's going on? Oh, yes, I remember your work specifically and the amazing lighting and cinematography and like the watch stuff. Oh. Yeah, for those of you who are in here, let me know by saying hi. Let me know where you're from and how your October's going. So today we're going to be reviewing some amazing work from some amazing members in my Frame by Frame community. So if you're tuning in, it's your first time tuning into the stream and don't know what it's all about, basically once a month, I'm going to go through these submissions from members in my community who want me to review their work live on stream. And the format that I follow is that I will go through each and every one of your work and I will say one thing that I think is working in your work and one thing that I'd love to see next. So something that I think could be either improved or like something that requires maybe a little more attention to basically step it up. But you know, it's just going to be my thoughts and opinions. It's really up to you whether or not you want to take it. But yeah, it's always exciting to see the work that you guys are creating and you guys are sharing. And I actually did something new specifically for this month and going forward, which is a way to divide the two channels in my server. So usually I would go through the share your work channel like this, and I really like this format when it's just one single, like scroll down and you see a bunch of work, because it feels like there's a little more like casualness to it when you pop into the channel and you see work and it's just like, oh yeah, I can just comment and whatever. But in this case, a problem that I ran into last time was like, I think it was specifically Sun, who was a member of our community, like one of the most active members who's always posting in the Share Your Work channel. And because he's always posting, sometimes I'll get to a piece of work that he shared earlier in the month when really he would have rather me review a piece of work that was posted later in the month. And I'm just using him as an example, but like I think there have been a few members where I noticed they've been posting quite frequently, and I imagine that they're in the same situation where they would rather me review a specific piece of work instead of the earliest one, because I made it a rule to not review the same work from the same people all the time. Otherwise, it's kind of unfair to other members. So this was my solution of not only organizing things, but also just allowing a chance for members to really share the work that they want me to see and they want my audience to see on my channel since I'm streaming here. But yeah, that's just kind of like some context as to what's going on and what this channel is about and why there's a new format. Just got home from a party just in time to catch up this live. Nice. Thanks for tuning in after your party. Yeah, let me know how your party was. Like, I haven't gone to like a Halloween party in a little while, but usually when I go to a party, I'm like drained and I don't want to do anything. So I appreciate that you still have the energy to tune in. You said my name right. Okay, nice. UK here. Oh, nice. From the UK. I've never been to the UK, but I had a friend that lives there, and he always like tells me when am I going to, or he always asks me like when I'm going to the UK, and I'm always just saying, I don't know, making a bunch of terrible excuses because it doesn't seem very appealing. We got Sean, what's going on? My goat. Oh, God, what a compliment. Dude, Sean is killing it in the productivity space. He has like a large following on Instagram, if I'm correct, but he's been posting more on YouTube, and his YouTube content is amazing as well. If you're into productivity and like lifestyle changes to like better your life and mindset, then highly recommend going to his channel and checking it out. Huge shout out to him. I've known him for a little while, since the whole artistry and magic stuff. So it's amazing to see the way that he pivoted and went to this niche. How'd you find the buyer dynamics? They're good. They're good. I don't have much to say about them other than I feel like they give a pretty neutral sound. Yeah, I like using them, and I just recently replaced the cushion on the top and also the cushion on like the earpieces because they start breaking down, and yeah, it was actually a pretty easy process, and I still enjoy using them. But yeah, let's get into the work. So I've already locked this thread, so I think when I change this to private, it means that it's not visible anymore as well. So for anyone who's joining in or like trying to see where this channel is, it might be hidden. But let's start from the bottom. Go top to bottom or bottom to top. Let's go bottom to top. All right, we got Batak. Sorry if saying your name wrong. We got the link and the feedback focus. So the thing he wants to know a little more about is, don't know if it counts, but how I could get more clients. If not, then I'd love to figure out how I can just make it better, maybe with doing something so the ideal audience buys more. Okay, so the project was an advertisement for a Discord group. I was trying to make an advertisement which will make people buy into the product. So seems like the goal is to entice people to buy it. Like, how do we make it a more effective advertisement so that we can potentially use this either as a spec ad or whatever, so that it can be hired more, right? That's the mission, that's the goal. Greetings, Dancing Buddha 677. Welcome in, welcome in. But yeah, let's check it out. Oh no, misclicked. There we go.
Parked up outside in the old school. The new me back with the OU. The dog always find his way back home, and it's so true. Later on, fall through and pop one. You know the motto, smoke something, drink something, pop one. Yeah.
Nice. That was really sleek. Damn. I was really impressed with the motion graphics. It all feels really like smooth. It's all fairly eased. I think that's what I really like about it. It feels high quality and polished. And I think that it's all fairly cohesive as well. So, I'm trying to pick one thing that would be the biggest improvement to like really get to your goal of advertising this, so it feels like you can get more clients, and also like what sells the product. So really what sells the product is not necessarily like the features, that at least from what I've learned is that what sells products isn't selling features, it's about selling the emotion and the transformation. And I think that this already does a pretty good job in terms of like relaying that quite clearly, in terms of like how much money you save. And also like, I really love the intro. Like, it feels casual, and it's a little cheeky when it's just like, what the, right? We cut to the title of the Discord, or the platform rather. And then this already works really well for me. I think it's like everything in between over here felt like it was a different tone than the rest of this. And I know that this is supposed to be like, iMessage, like with the Apple UI and everything. If it's stuck to this kind of like palette and this kind of like design theme, I think it would be A, more coherent, and B, just a little more clear. Because like I started noticing like all this is great, and it feels like there is love and like effort behind it with all the design and the motion and everything, but I think my initial reaction or my initial emotion while watching this was it felt a little too busy, and I wasn't sure like what I'm supposed to be paying attention to, because I imagine it's supposed to be the product itself, but because it's being overlaid with like the text and it's like distorted because it's going through and everything like that, like it all looks really interesting and it's great when it's like a still image. But because it's like blocking, it's like overlaying with some of the product, there's like little details over here, and like it just feels like there's a lot going on, and me as a viewer, I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at or paying attention. And then like I see this, and then it gets even busier. Like there's more text over here. I'm looking like my focal point, like where my attention is like it's looking up now, and then back over here, and then there's like even more items. So I think that for visual clarity, it might be better to show each and every item as its own kind of like full screen thing, where it's like microphone, like just kind of like crop this, where it's like microphones like $70, like a Dyson dryer or whatever, and then it's just like you see the price and then like you cross it out or something like that, and it's a lower price. So we hammer in that point of like, oh yeah, it's supposed to be this original price, it's actually a lot less. So you're hammering the idea that you are saving more money with each item, as opposed to this where there's too much information on screen for me to digest. And before I know what's really going on, we go into the platform. I think that's the major thing, just like trying to get it more visually clear, because then it's just like, I don't know, I can actually retain the main message rather than the middle where it's starting to feel like too much information, in a way where I can't even process it in time. And my rule is like basically just like one thing that I would say that you can bring attention to, but another thing is just like this ending over here. It's great that you're thinking about hammering in that point of like how much money you save. That's great, because like once I see a big number and be like, oh yeah, I could be saving so much money as well, it kind of like ties back into that emotion. But like I think the numbers to me just didn't feel impressive enough. The 5,000 or so is great. In the last 30 seconds, okay, I think it should be fine, but I think I skimmed it, and then I skipped the 30 seconds, and I was like, oh, for 51 people, it's just like, oh, is it just like a new platform? But like maybe it was just like I was still stuck on this, and I wasn't really paying attention to the whole tag over here. But I think I skimmed this part. But now that I read the whole thing, it does make sense. But maybe there's just like a different way of conveying it. I don't know. I think this is something that I would kind of like think on a little more, but I don't have the exact answer to this right now. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought that this, like, if clients or brands were to look at this, they would be impressed with like the amount of like, how would I say it, like sophistication behind the animation. Like the quality is good. I think it's just like a matter of clarity. I think that's the main thing. But otherwise, yeah, thanks for sharing your work, dude. That was a great way to start things. Nice one. Yeah. Welcome in, umbrellas. Too cluttered. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. Damn it, Dyson dryer though. Yeah. We can get that cheap. I like the small detail that went from 50 to 51. Yeah, that was a creative choice that I enjoyed as well. It's just like you can tell that a lot of like effort and thought went behind each and every detail, but it gets to a point where I think it's just like you got to step back and then take a look at like, am I getting the main message for each, I guess, like shot that goes through. We got only Tanghai. Sorry if I say your name wrong. Welcome in. Hello, back at you. It looks clean. Yeah, it looks clean. Looks sleek. Started learning After Effects today, seriously, and you've been a big motivation for me to do so. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, I use a lot of After Effects. So it's always like, I don't know how to say it. Like VFX is not like my main thing. So when people say they find my stuff like inspiring or like helpful to like get them doing things in After Effects, it's always like makes me feel good. Can't wait to see the Valorant promotions. All right, next one we got Cbrand. Hey, you were the one who messaged in chat right now. Cbrand Productions. All right. We got a Google Doc spreadsheet. Okay, I guess I'll click it and find out. But you need to know if you should change anything to make it better. A little vague, but I will give my best stab. For context, you've spent years working with cameras, and you're ready to buy your first consumer cinema camera. Make comments on things I should change. Possibly might miss the live stream. So can someone make a video on post it on YouTube? Make sure. Okay, let's check it out. So is this a share your work? This isn't necessarily in line with the format of the purpose of the stream, unfortunately. I will give you a very brief overview just to answer your question, but in the future, just know that the purpose of this is to review your work in like a video sense, or even like, I guess like creative work sense, where I think this is starting to veer into something else. But just to give you a little overview to answer it quickly, because I know you're in chat right now. FX3 is great. I can't tell you anything about the costs. Like, just get it as low as possible. Otherwise, I'd have to do the research, but I assume that you do your due diligence for what the right price is. This is great, and this is the lens that I use as well. That's awesome. Awesome. This is basically like my setup, with some additional things. Like, instead of the Shinobi, I have the, what's it called? Atomos Ninja, and I don't record on it anymore very much, so I don't find an external recorder that helpful. If you want to retain a little more quality and like shoot in ProRes, then you can get an external recorder. Otherwise, I would switch to the Shinobi. So I think that's a good choice. If again, external recording isn't your primary purpose of having a monitor. Magic arm's good. Side handle's good. Faceplate. This is the only one. ND filter. Okay, K filter. Yeah, sure. These are all good. Nice. I think you got a good list. Like, you can't go wrong with them. I would recommend looking up for accessories, especially like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, like stuff where you can get it for even cheaper. You don't have to get everything new. I think a camera is good to get new because it's just like if you get a secondhand, you don't know what it's gone through and things can break, and it's just like probably don't have warranty on it anymore. So yeah. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for sharing your your spreadsheet. It was totally like came from left field for me. But I guess technically that is work, doing the research. All right, we got the next one. Valorant promotional. Okay, here we go. So feedback focuses storytelling, sound design, and music, specifically music, and is it a good ad? Oh, it's an ad. This was official Riot Games request to make a promo. Holy shit. That's huge. What? An official Riot Games request, sorry, to make a promotional. I'm still blown away. Sorry. Let me finish the sentence. Promotional video for their game Valorant. I was the editor. The author was Teats TV. Focus was to entertain and inform the viewers that what the game is about. Sorry for its being 30 seconds longer than allowed. That's fine. If it's like a little bit, I'll allow some wiggle room, especially since there aren't many submissions today. Official request. That is insane. The insane part is like, not only do I don't play Valorant, but I play League of Legends. But for Valorant, I'm always referring to their promo videos for inspiration for my own work, whether it's motion graphics or just like pacing and music. So, I don't know what the right word is, but like, I think I will naturally be more of a hard ass because I've seen so many of them. But yeah, let's check it out.
This is Valorant. Aren't you tired of playing FPSs where teamwork is non-existent? Then you should play Valorant. It's free on console and PC. In this tactical first-person shooter, gamers are rewarded for coming up with a plan together and following through. But what is a tech FPS? Good question. Valorant is a competitive team-based shooter where you're attacking or defending sites, instead of going through the cycle of mindlessly running in, respawning, and dying over and over. Valorant is played at a much slower pace to emphasize its strategy. Outplay versus out-aim. There's multiple ways to win a round, the first of which can be done by mastering agents and maps, while out-aiming someone is the result of countless amounts of mechanical practice. If you can't control your weapon, winning is going to be a lot harder. Honing your aim is necessary and takes time. Now, while getting good does take a solid chunk of practice and resilience, you'll see that dedication pay off in the form of easy wins. But you might be thinking, teamwork? Communication? In a multiplayer game? Not in my matches. Well, Riot solved that issue.
Feels like a YouTube walkthrough. Yes, this is actually this is actually really helpful for me because I don't actually know too much about this game. I just know it's supposed to be like a little bit like CS:GO. Like it's not like Rivals or Overwatch, so there's a different purpose for it. So this is actually educational for me. I'm learning stuff.
Matches. Well, Riot solved that issue. Even if no one's talking, Valorant has built-in roles, meaning everyone has their own job. Duelists are aggressive killers whose abilities create space and survive fights. Initiators help their team in taking duels, gather info to determine where you guys should go, and are assist gods. Controllers use their smokes to block vision and single-handedly control the pace of a match. And lastly, we have sentinels who use their endless amounts of setups and bots to lock down sites or watch their team's backs. Each agent has their own specific job that they should be doing to ensure a win. But even better, every character's kit synergizes within themselves, meaning if your teams completely abandon you, you could still make a round-winning plan all by yourself. Alright partner, now hold your horses. Learning abilities, figuring out which angles I should and shouldn't be holding, set up some robots, that's a lot to practice. But that's what makes Valorant fun. There's even specific game modes tailored to what you want to work on. In either deathmatch or team deathmatch, you can practice stopping and shooting, spraying, crosshair placement, or just get a feel for each gun. Swift plays are first to 5 and only last like 10 to 15 minutes. These are the perfect matches to experiment with different agents or practice specific tech that you've picked up, but in real time. With custom games, you can practice anything from lineups to advanced ability usage to setting up goofy games with your friends. Or if you just want to have fun, try Escalation or Spike Rush. This wide range of game modes will help you discover your favorite role, help you improve, and climb that ranked leaderboard. Trust me, there is no better feeling than showing off that stacked act rank or shiny gun buddy badge. It's these
is that true, guys?
That remind you
for people who play Valorant in chat,
journey you've been through was worth it. But what about playing with friends? And now that's the best part. Whether you're friends you know in person, like-minded people you meet through ranked, or players found in various Discord servers, you just need to find at least one person to queue with, and you'll find something more valuable than any gun buddy. Cool clips. Imagine you combo your paint shells with a gravity net for an insta-kill, or this deafening nearsight into a backstabbing teleport for a quick first blood, or give your lovable companion a speed boost. Now, could you imagine the possibilities with 4 friends? In what other game can you make moments or come up with in-depth game plans like these? Valorant's agents are like big puzzle pieces, except that they fit any combination you can imagine. All it takes is something you'll never find in any other FPS. A little bit of thinking. Head to playvalorant.com to play today for free.
Sweet, awesome video. Submissions over the stream? Yes, unfortunately, sorry. I have locked the channel already, and the next time it'll open will be a few days before the next stream. It feels like yeah, read that already. Where's the edit, bro? I mean, this whole thing is the edit. He has made this entire video. It's a compilation of things in a way that is digestible for people who are interested in Valorant. I think you did an awesome job. Nice. I think this, the purpose of it is to make it approachable and also educate people who are new players that are just like interested in it. And I think that for me, like, it got me. I would say that if I was into FPS, because I don't play any FPS, that it would get me excited in the sense where it's just like, oh yeah, there's so much I can do with this, or I can do in this game. And I like that sense of variety. Like, it feels like it covered a lot, but because he covered so much, for me there was a little too much information, so it was like hard to digest like a lot of the things. And I know the purpose of this is for it to be like an overview and get people excited, and I think that the emotional arcs and the moments and the beats are working for me. Like, there are fun moments where it's just like I think there was like a cut to like cool clips, and just like you know, playing with the friends and stuff like that. Yeah, I think all of it's working really well. I know you're asking about sound design music. I think the sound design is actually quite good. Like
Every character's
you hear them to a point where it still feels immersive, without it taking too much attention. Because if it's too loud, then it's just like it gets distracting. And I didn't feel that throughout the video. I can still hear your voiceover or their voiceover, quite like loud and clear. And like it doesn't like, basically the point I'm trying to say is like the sound effects is not distracting, and I can understand what's being said with great clarity. So I think you've accomplished that well. For the music itself, like I think for the tone of this video, it works great. It feels kind of like upbeat, lighthearted. It's supposed to feel really casual, not like this serious like tutorial or like overview. It's like a really casual kind of like YouTube video, and I think that this accomplished that with the music.
either deathmatch or communication.
I did feel like the music was a little soft, and that's like a bit of a double-edged sword, because it's just like the sound effects. It's not like distracting when it's that soft, but because I didn't notice it that much, even though I was like specifically kind of like trying to listen for it. It didn't feel like it was really adding to the emotion of things because of how quiet it is. So, and I know that's such a like tricky, like fine line to find of like whether it's too quiet or too loud. But in this case for me, my impression was that it was a little quiet.
He wins.
But yeah, what do you guys think in chat? Like, did you feel the music was like the levels were fine? Because maybe it's just like from my headphones or just from my end.
You might be thinking, teamwork? Communication? In a multiplayer game? Not in my matches. Well, Riot solved that issue. Even if no one's talking, own specific job that they should be doing to ensure a win. But even better, every character's kit synergizes within themselves. Meaning, if your teams completely abandon you, you can...
Yeah, I can still hear it in some moments. And I think that overall, like, yeah, the music choices were good. I don't think it had to be like as aggressive or like as crazy as like other Valorant videos like on their official channel, because it's like, this isn't going on their channel from my understanding. It's like a request from them to create this, to promote the game. And overall, like, I think it was a good ad. I think it accomplished what it needed to. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else left to really say. I like the pacing of it. It was all good. I think just for me was a lot of information to digest. That's all. But that's just the kind of video it is. It's like an informational promo video. Low-key, no one plays a balanced team. Wants to play duelists. I wouldn't know. Only Diablo 2 Resurrected. How's my cinematography, Herman? Will we get to your video? Did you submit it into this channel? Otherwise, I'm not sure. But yeah, welcome in, Dawson Boyle. I don't know if you said hi earlier, but hello, welcome in. The cadence of the voice feels very casual, YouTube guy, and I think that's what they're going for. Yeah, exactly. The cadence of the voice, it's just like, and the music, and like the pacing, and like the big bold text and stuff like that. It just feels like YouTube video, and it feels like grounded on the platform. Like it makes sense for it to be that way. How to find his channel? If you're talking about how to find the what's it called, like this submit for live review channel and how you join, so all the information about that is in the description of the stream. So you can join the server, which is Frame by Frame, my server for creatives who are serious about elevating their craft. Yeah, and once a month I will stream something like this where I review your work, members of this community. And it has been a recent thing where a few days before my stream, I will open up this channel called Submit for a Live Review. It's hidden right now, I believe, because I made it private, because I just close it for the rest of the month, and I only open it for a few days or probably a week for the next one, for the next month. So there's enough time for people to submit their work. But right now, unfortunately, I'm only going to go through the ones that have been submitted for this month. But yeah, hopefully that provides a bit of clarity. And the guy just watched. Oh, sorry. I don't know what his channel is. Maybe you can tag him in like a general chat or DM him. Oh, the author is TCTV. Okay, there we go. I believe that was it. Is there a chance that at the end of the stream, if there was a time left, you can watch a few more reviews? Unfortunately not. Just to kind of keep things fair with the people who actually submitted it for this month. And also to make sure that the stream doesn't go longer than it should, because I'm trying to like manage my energy and time. And especially my first stream, which was like 3 hours or so, because I didn't know how to like keep things contained. Yeah, to keep things fair for my members and myself, I'm not going to review anything that is not here. But yeah, hopefully you get a chance to submit your work for the next stream, just next month. But usually I'll announce that kind of stuff in the announcement channel, so keep an eye on that. Let's move on to Sun. Yes, I love Sun's work. Always makes me happy to see him post. He is one of our most prolific members. He's like pumping AMVs left and right. It is insane to me how often he is making these AMVs. But yeah, his feedback focus for this one is pacing / sound. It's a hype edit that is more broad than the usual character / ensemble projects I usually do for this game. Focus was on maintaining a constant sense of flow while also matching to the lyrics of the song, while maintaining my signature sound effect style seen in other videos of mine. Yes, you are doing... He is like great at implementing sound effects with his AMVs. That's one of the more impressive things that I've noticed from his AMVs compared to other ones that I've watched on YouTube, where it's just very like music heavy, music centric, and it feels like it lacks immersion. But his is always great because there's well mixed sound design. But yeah, let's check out the video. Go back a little bit.
Energy connected, chemistry downloaded, memory uphold the entity. This is the future. Space age crusader, light being creator. Everybody's in danger. Shining illuminated, I took it, I had to take it. Look, mama, I made it. They looking like paparazzi. They see me but never got me. A hard act to follow. You can never got me. You can never slow me down. This the energy they need right now. Here we go, huh? You can never slow me down. This the energy they need right now. I'ma push it to the limit. Every day I gotta push. Yeah. Whoever thought we would take it this far? Next level, we going to the stars. Let's push. I'ma push it to the limit. Elevated to the point of no return. Play with fire, then you will get burned. The revolution's now. It's our turn. Innovation at its best. I in the curve. The crack in the system. The gold unlocked. The drive to the top. Coming in high until the wheels fall off. Or the motor drop. It's the rush of adrenaline. I will not stop. You can never slow me down. This the energy they need right now. Here we go, huh? You can never slow me down. This the energy they need right now. I'ma push it to the limit. Every day I gotta push. Whoever thought we would take it this far? Next level, we going to the stars. Let's push. I'ma push it to the limit.
Damn, that was sick. There's not much to say. This was incredible. And like, I was like, I shouldn't be doing this, but because of how impressed I was for the first like half of it, especially, actually no, it was all good. Just to preface, it's just like up to this point, I was just like, damn, I gotta really look for something to pick out because I can't find anything that feels like could be improved or like would elevate it next. Like I wouldn't even know what the next step is. I think it was all really well done. And knowing back when you've shared your previous work, there were some moments before where I was just like, oh yeah, this sound might be a little loud, or it might be like the wrong pitch or something like that, and that was just being like really nitpicky. Now it's just like I don't feel that at all, which is great. I'm really happy to like be able to witness that growth in you. And I'm sure that came with, you know, editing so many AMVs all the time. Like if you guys are ever like in the Share Your Work channel, you will notice he is like the one who like posts the most, you know? Yeah, amazing. Great job. Yeah, pacing and sound, it's all good. Like it was all well mixed. There was one part that I was particularly impressed with that had nothing to do with actually the pacing or sound. And maybe it was just part of like the footage that you were using already, or it was an editing decision that you did. Either or. I thought it was kind of cool, and I don't know if I can find it. It was like such a quick moment. I think it was near the beginning-ish. Or maybe I can't find it again. Oh, it's that. There we go. Between the fingers. That was really cool. That looks like it was probably a mask. So I feel like that's something that you did. And that's sick. That caught my eye. I was just like, I did like almost like a double take sort of thing. I was like, oh, that's cool. Great use of like a frame within a frame with some masking. From a visual aspect, so awesome. Because I don't play the game, maybe there's some sort of parallel between like that character and this one. And there's some sort of correlation, which is why that's happening. But just visually speaking, I thought it was cool. And it was also a simple effect. It's just some masking. Yeah, it all flowed really well. I think if I were to be really, really picky, it was this moment here. Where the music dipped down and it was like a little like low pass filter. So only the lower frequencies went through. So it feels a little like more muffled so that we can pay attention to the sounds in this environment more. But I think that in this case, I didn't see what the purpose was in specifically using a low pass filter for this moment, because I would use it for like if I were to make sure there was more emphasis on a dialogue, like someone says something and then you can dip the music that way, or if the sound effects like cut through a little more, so it feels like that's obviously the emphasis in the scene, where it sounds like the sound effects were also a little bit muffled and there was a low pass filter on it. So that kind of like brought my attention to it a little bit. But otherwise, it didn't bother me that much. It was just like, if I had to pick like one thing out of this video, and I'm like really trying hard to pick something out, then that would be the one thing to bring some attention to. Otherwise, thank you for submitting your work here. It is always a treat seeing your stuff. Unfamiliar with Demos, unfamiliar with your game, ZZZ and Sun. Yeah, always killing it. Gives me Quest add on Discord vibes. All right, let's move on to the next one. We got, oh yeah, you were in chat earlier. Watch transmissions. Greetings programs. This is your latest broadcast. Nice, nice. So for the next time, just make sure that you follow the rules and submission template over here. So provide a link, feedback, focus, and context. So that gives me a little more bit of like a direction in terms of like what kind of feedback to provide you. Otherwise, it will be very vague, and it might not be the specific feedback that you're looking for. But we'll watch it anyways. But usually, I will skip posts that do not follow that format. And because it's a 6-minute video, I am going to skim it. I'm not going to watch anything past 3 minutes. So just a heads up. Still here. Hey, we are watching your work. yeah, I just remember the last time. Super impressed by how polished it was. So I'm excited for this one.
Every second promises clarity, yet all we see is noise. More screens, more demands, more distractions. The world demands your attention again and again. But what if the loudest statement was silence? What if clarity itself could sit on your wrist? This is Module D by Pauline Watches. Pauline Watches started in Glasgow 2013, not from a watchmaker's bench, but from a designer's desk. Founded by the Pauline sisters, art students with a deep love for typography, started with letters, before cases. A decade later, they joined Unordained, masters of enamel, patient as time itself. Two brands under one roof. Shared tools, shared ideas. But Pauline kept something rare, its own identity. The watch world loves nostalgia, loves noise. Every year, more editions.
Moody, mysterious lighting,
More
yes.
bold ideas.
There's something about like
More
the
nostalgia.
big soft source that I really love about this that makes it feel very like natural and grounded instead of it being like, how would I say it? Too like sourcey, which is like the tendency that I'm doing, which feels very like artificial and stuff like that. But like this feels like you're lighting for the scene rather than just the object, and that's what makes it feel really sleek and crisp.
We are packed as novelty. It's called progress. But often, it's only polish over complexity. Most brands fight to be noticed. Imogen Ayres, designer of Module D, chose the opposite path. She stripped everything back. No vintage disguise, no trendy camouflage, just a framework. Precise, deliberate, timeless. Most watches have one case. This one has two. An inner core, black-coated steel, shields the movement with surgical precision. Wrapped around it, an outer shell of brushed steel, locked in place by twin lateral screws. It's an architecture designed to evolve. Quartz, manual, or automatic. Modular, heartbeat in a year. Wing crowel grids and the disc seconds. All. Look closer and you realize. Intentional. Noise. Every second with this feels like a return.
Very GXA's moment. I love it. I love it. I love the overall cinematography. I think that's just the same as like last video that you submitted before. Like it just really impressive. It looks really polished. Learned this from Master Blaine Westrop. Light spaces, not faces. Yes, I've heard that saying as well. It was actually a recent thing that I read. And it kind of inspired me to like try to do the same going forward with my videos, because yeah, I have trouble definitely in small spaces as well to like light the entire scene. But there's always a way to accomplish it. But you do an amazing job doing like applying that to your shots. I love the visual variety as well. That's working really well. You get to see it like on your actual wrist. You're like holding on to the watch face and everything too. The set design is also really good. Like I like how the lights are flashing underneath it as well to give everything more texture and just like make it visually interesting, because it's just like a watch on like a black surface. It can be really boring, but because this is like a metal sheet with some holes and stuff like that, it just feels more like rustic. It feels more like, how would I say it, like a bit gritty while still looking sleek. And this is like a great combo.
Steel.
And even stuff like this, like when I said the example of like not just on a black like background, like even this still has some texture, and that's really working. And so it's like the lighting and the set design is working really well for your watch shots. It makes it feel like it's like a watch advertisement, like a promo video, and not just like, you know, an analysis and review of a watch. So insane. Keep it up, dude. It's really good.
Over a while now.
I don't even know what's one thing that I would bring some attention to.
and the of web.
I mean, if you want me to be really picky, like this looked a little flat-ish, but like it was such a quick shot, and I don't think it really matters. Like everything else is really sleek.
This is modularity belongs everywhere.
Yeah, I don't really know. Like I'm trying to like pick out something. I think
Will ever see are etched. Something unusual takes.
the only thing, not to say like this will improve it, but just like something to think about is that although this all feels like a slow burn genre piece of like being moody, cinematic, and like dramatic overall, and if I'm in the headspace for it, like this is all really good and it scratches that itch. But at the same time, I think tonally it's all like a bit one note, and that's the same problem that I find with GX Ace's videos. I don't know, problem is the wrong word, but the one thing that like makes it harder for me to watch through the entire video, even though I appreciate the aesthetics, I appreciate the world building, I appreciate like so many things, but like the one thing that like keeps me from watching the entirety of videos of this genre is that it feels very singular note. Like it feels like it's all just flat. And a way to kind of like create some ebbs and flows is either through a change of pacing in some music or just like stepping into a different environment instead of just like, I mean, this is a good variety of different like sets, but like stepping outside, for example, making the world feel bigger than just like one room. That could be a way of creating a bit of variety.
Something only Pauline.
Yeah, those are the only things I can really think of. Otherwise, overall, really enjoyable experience. Yeah, nice work. Thank you for sharing your work. Yeah, we got our last post. We got Nick. Nick's feedback focus is pacing and flow between shots. How well the directional motion and rhythm hold the viewer's attention across the sequence. It's pacing and flow. 1 minute experiment in cinematic rhythm built entirely from 2025 film scenes. Oh, that's interesting. 1 minute experience in cinematic rhythm built entirely from 2025 film scenes. Each cut continues the motion from the previous frame in continuous visual flow, captured frame by frame without AI. Nice. Check it out. Hold up, that was sweet. Let's watch it again. Oh my god, it's more. I'm not gonna lie, this was not what I expected. This was more. Damn, that was awesome.
That was amazing.
That was amazing. Holy, stole words out of my mouth. Nice job. Holy. This must have taken like so much work trying to find the specific shots so that they visually flow into the next. Like just, I can't imagine what that process is like. Do you just like watch a bunch of films and you're like, you have like a notebook next to you and you're just like, oh yeah, this is a great moment where the subject runs like left to right or they're dropping from up to down. Cause like, this is an insane amount of precision to like have it so that the motion is like lining up with the next shot to do that. But this is such a refreshing way of seeing motion flow from one shot into another. I was fully expecting this to just be like a bunch of match cuts, which is impressive on its own, but like using the ends of the frame to continue motions, like it was awesome. I don't know what else to say. Like it's super creative. Like it makes me curious what inspired you to do this? Like, was there a reference of like you've seen this in like a movie before, or like someone else has made a montage like this? Like, I'm really curious to how the inception of this idea came to be. But yeah, super, super clever. Yeah, short and sweet too. Nice. Love this video. This is great. If there's one thing to pay attention to, like, it's hard to think of something. I think the only thing that kind of stood out a little bit was like this transition here, where it flickers into that, because then it starts to kind of like, how to say it, it felt a little bit jarring because it felt like it didn't fit in the world of continuing the motion from like right to left, left to right, up and down. This kind of like stayed center frame, and it's like, I think it would have been okay to stay center frame like that to give like a bit of like a visual break, but the flickering cutout effect didn't exactly do it for me personally. I think that if they like, I don't know, like jumped up in place and then it cuts to a shot of like them, I don't know, like landing back on their feet, and then it stays centered, then maybe that would work with the theme of the rest of the video where it's following the subject's motion, whereas the cutout thing felt a little jarring for me. But that's just me being a little nitpicky, because I don't think that really bothered me too much. But if there was one thing to bring some attention to make the overall flow a little bit better, it might be bringing some attention to this. Otherwise, everything else was amazing. Again, I cannot imagine the amount of work that took to get this done the way it is. So awesome job, Nick. Thank you for sharing that. Man, every time I do these streams, I'm just like speechless with how talented the members are in my community. Like, blows me away. And yeah, like I just don't know what to say. I'm like flabbergasted. Yeah, a lot of these work are amazing, and you know, it just always makes me excited to see the work that more of you are going to share for the next stream. Like, hopefully this announcement was enough for everyone to kind of like know about this, because I think my worst fear was like people not knowing that they could submit it through this because it's a new format. But I also messaged in to share your work. So for those of you who are tuning in that like missed this, then just a heads up, check out the announcements page and submit your work for the next time. Because yeah, it's always a joy seeing what you guys are up to and what kind of work you guys are creating and the progress that you're making, because that's the purpose of this community. Not slow, sorry, but like incremental progress in your work and applying the things that you learn. So and it's just like, you know, it's inspiring to see, like, for example, Shadowcore, like Sun's work, and comparing his work like over time and seeing that growth, like that makes me happy. So if you keep submitting your stuff and I see your growth, like I can kind of like follow your journey and like be able to kind of like cheer you on and see the progress, and it's just amazing to see. But yeah, I think that's it. That's everything. That's all the work this month. See if I get a full cam. There we go. Yeah, no real closing thoughts other than thank you again, guys, for sharing your work. You know, like, kind of like what I've said like this in every stream, but it takes like a level of vulnerability to like share your work, because like people can be, or artists can be very like precious about their work. Like, I know for me, like there's some work that I feel like insecure about, or like work that feels personal to me. And then when I share it, it's just like, what are people going to say? What are they going to think about it? And it just kind of like can chip away at like your self-esteem or like whatever. But like, you know, being able to share that and being able to get some feedback from like-minded people and other creators is a way to grow. And I've seen that for myself when I share my stuff online as well, and I hear people's feedback, and it's just like, yeah, it's great being able to hear other people's thoughts and perspectives, because you know, when you're stuck in your own head and you're just looking at your own work, and it's just like, for me, looking at my own work, I'm just like, oh, this is like garbage, this is terrible, or whatever. And whether it's people's encouragement or people's like genuine feedback and constructive criticism, like, yeah, it's just great getting that kind of perspective. So huge props to everyone that submitted their work and was willing to share that on the stream. Otherwise, thanks again, Herman. Yes, thank you again for submitting your work, and thank you all for tuning in. For those of you who are in chat, thank you for being here and experiencing this. If you were unable to, how would I say it? Like, if you were unable to submit your work this time, then I've said it before, again, just check out the announcements and make sure to post it when it is an open forum for everyone to post, because I'd love to see what you guys do. So that's it. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next stream. Take care, guys.